Pallavan is where I really pushed up for that Lusupani track, the kick and snare. That's the highlight with, to be honest, with Yuvan, Harris and AR. They know what layers to add.
Cinema standard வந்து
Right.
you are maintaining that.
Correct.
எல்லா பாட்டுமே ஹிட் ஆகும். எஸ்பெஷலி யுவன் பண்ணாலே அது லிரிக்கலா சாச்சிட்டாலே ஆக்சுவலா சாச்சிட்டாரே அந்த பாட்டு.
Very nice.
ஹிப் ஹாப்போட இன்ஃப்ளூயன்ஸ் தான் வந்து நம்ம யுவனோட
சாங்லயும் வந்திருக்கு big. ஆமா, because Yuvan also grew up on the sounding of hip hop.
Yeah.
So it's easy. That music was very
யுவன் அண்ட் ஹாரிஸ் இவங்க ரெண்டு பேர் தான் வந்து ஆக்சுவலா ஒரு ஹிப் ஹாப்போட ஒரு பியூர் இது.
ஆமா, they brought that sounding more than Harris. I would say Yuvan brought that
sound.
actual
sounding exact sounding will be like hip hop
music. Exactly.
But Harris will be using that instrumentation,
but he'll sound more popish.
Yeah.
See, of course, all these guys, AR, Aman, Harris, AR, Yuvan, Harris, they're still the Michael Jackson sounding.
Yeah.
Everybody wants that big kick and the big snare. So that's where they got influence from as well. அவங்களும் ஓபனா சொல்லிருக்காங்க.
ஆமா, மைக்கேல் ஜாக்சன் இல்லாம பண்ணவே முடியாது.
ஆமா, பண்ணவே முடியாது. That sounding. So and then
இன்ஸ்பயர் ஆகணும் இல்லீங்களா? அந்த சவுண்ட் கேட்டா நம்ம அந்த சாங்ஸ் கேட்டா இதெல்லாம் இன்ஸ்பயர் ஆகும்.
To get into engineering, you need to know music first.
Yeah.
To be a sound engineer or to be a mix engineer or recording engineer. Music, if you don't have music knowledge or the sounding for it, you cannot do it. Yeah. It's it has to be, first of all, at least you have to have it naturally. Then you have to study and learn from other engineers' techniques and stuff and apply it to your style, and then after you'll start growing.
Yeah, so you create. Everybody had to create their own style.
Style, yeah, exactly.
Signature sound, and we'll be in the field.
You cannot be in the field. And over there, competition is very heavy. There's always somebody new.
Competition is very heavy, and headroom is very small.
Isn't that telling you? அங்க வந்து இப்ப
the headroom குள்ள we have to compete, right?
Compete. Today's pop music or music in general is dominated by maybe 20 engineers in the US. I'm very honest. All those hits from whoever it is, Bruno Mars or Taylor Swift, I'm telling you, it's only those 20 engineers who mix these records.
Okay.
Yeah. If you see the credit list, you'll see these 20 names. அவ்வளவுதான் இருக்கும்.
Even in India, அதேதான். இங்க பார்த்தா legendary engineers இங்க இருக்காங்க, சம்பத்தன்.
ஆமா, exactly.
எமி சார் இருக்காரு.
ஆமா.
So they were doing great mix. நம்ம போய் கேட்டிருப்போம்.
ஆமா, exactly.
ராஜா சாரோட mixes 80sலாம் அவ்வளவு நல்லா.
ஆமா, correct. I think Raja sir was, I think Sampath sir did his 80s stuff, I think.
So எப்போ
India
எப்படி?
Okay, this is
யுவன் எப்படி
intro ஆச்சு.
அப்பதான் ஃபேவரட் எல்லாரோட, அதாவது நான் நினைக்கிற ஒரு நம்ம ஜெனரேஷன்ல நினைக்கிற ஒரு ஒரிஜினல் மியூசிக் டைரக்டர் லாஸ்ட் பர்சன் தான் யுவன் தான். அதுக்கப்புறம் நம்ம இன்ட்ராவல உள்ள ரொம்ப கஷ்டம், அது பிரேக் ஆகி உள்ள அக்செப்ட் பண்றதுக்கு. ஸோ யுவன் ரொம்ப ஃபேவரட்டான. யுவன் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா எக்ஸ்ட்ரீம், இந்த பக்கம் எக்ஸ்ட்ரீம் வெஸ்டர்ன் இருக்கும், அந்த பக்கம் வந்து அப்படியே ஒரு ஃபோக், ஒரு வில்லேஜ் சப்ஜெக்ட், ஒரு பருத்தி வீரன், இந்த பக்கம் கோவா இருக்கும். கரெக்ட், ரெண்டுமே இருக்கும். எதுவுமே வந்து மேல இருக்கும், எதுவுமே கீழே இருக்காது. அதுதான் எனக்கு யுவன் வந்து எல்லாத்துக்கும் விட மேலன்னு நினைப்பேன் நான்.
கண்டிப்பாங்க, he is very versatile. அதான் he listens to a lot of music.
ஜீன்லயே இருக்கு.
ஆமா, ஜீன்லயே இருக்கு. And but என்னன்னா he didn't அது வந்து for him the tune is very important. ரூட் எங்கேயாவது பிடிச்சிருவாரு, அதுக்கப்புறம் he'll slowly start expanding. But அவரோட ஸ்டைல் இருக்கும். Whether he does a folk music, he'll have his signature. Or he does a hip hop song or a western song or even a western classical string arrangements இருந்தாலும் சரி, ஒரு signature sound இருக்கும், signature tune இருக்கும். That's how he made his stamp in the industry. அது கேட்டோன்னு தெரிஞ்சிடும் within the second time listening, okay, this is a Yuvan song. ஏன்னா signature இருக்கு அதுல. அது ஒண்ணு. Of course it's the arrangement.
படத்துல இருக்கு signature வந்து very first மூவில அரவிந்தன்லயே வந்து அந்த இது இருக்கும்.
ஆமா, correct. So
அந்த கேசட் இன்னும் இருக்கு என்கிட்ட.
Wow. So இப்போ வந்து now what happened was in New York வந்து that time the music industry was going through a crisis, severe crisis.
Okay.
Because of Napster and all this piracy and all this stuff.
Yeah, when MP3 came in. Totally
they shook up the industry. So என்ன பண்ணாங்கன்னா, what happened in States and Europe was they were downsizing the studio business. Downsized heavily, almost about 70% they downsized. They only kept some key studios. Of course, LA studios was Hollywood, so they didn't worry about Hollywood. But matta states or matta countries in the studios they really started
especially music
business. Only in the music business.
Film score வந்து ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்காது. அவங்க வந்து யூசுவலி பண்ணி தான் அவங்க அங்க
ஸ்டுடியோ தான் ஆகணும். ஸ்டுடியோலாம் இருக்கு.
அட்மாஸ் வந்து வீட்ல பண்ண
முடியாது. or even that time was only 5.1.
அட்மாஸ் பைரசி கிடைக்காது.
கண்டிப்பா கிடைக்காது. So you have to do it. So business was there for the movie business, but the music business took a hit because of piracy, so they started downsizing all these big studios to control the cost.
Okay.
And appada I got laid off from Sony because they shut down that entire operation. Okay. That building had 26 studios in it. 26 studios in one huge building. They completely shut it down. They shut down the entire operations in New York, but they had the offices there.
Okay.
But studios are shut down.
But who found this MP3? Like
Napster, MP3. I forgot the name of the person who created it. Oh my God.
He's the one. He's the culprit actually. Music அழிச்சதே வந்து கேசட் CD அழிச்சிட்டாங்க. ஒரு மாஸ்டர் நம்ம கேக்கல.
I need to find out. I'll look it up on Google.
Who is the MP? Search பண்ணி சொல்லுங்க. Who found MP3?
Yeah. பாருங்க. So he created this and then Napster and LimeWire.
Okay.
These two pirate engines on the internet. அப்பதான் internet boom ஆச்சு.
Yeah.
So they started ripping the CDs. You buy the CD, you import in your system, you can convert to MP3, load it up. And that's it. No one is buying CDs anymore. No one's buying cassettes anymore. Unless you're very passionate about the artist. You go buy the CD as a collection.
So only we buy.
Yeah, exactly. Only as sound engineers or musicians.
Musician lovers.
Lovers, yeah. Who love music.
Who listens to quality.
Quality music, exactly. That time the best quality to listen to was CD. Yeah. Before that was cassette. I don't think cassette. The new generation doesn't know cassette. But பாருங்க, it started from vinyl. Vinyl lane it went to cassette. Cassette lane the CD. Yeah.
CD master எடுக்கிறதுக்கு எவ்வளவு டைம் எடுக்கும்?
ஆமா, exactly.
To play back in the cars.
Exactly. We used to check everything.
ஒரு சாங் வந்து will be like easier போயிட்டு.
ஆமா.
We take notes.
Exactly.
Programmers எல்லாரும் உட்கார்ந்திருப்போம்.
ஆமா.
ஜாலியா நோட்ஸ்
திருப்பி ரீடு
சூப்பர் ஃபன். ஒரு சின்ன ஒரு இது கூட இருக்காது.
கண்டிப்பா
இருக்காது. அதுக்கும் எவ்வளவு டிஃபரன்ஸ் இருக்கு.
கரெக்ட்.
So இப்போ வந்து அது இல்லவே இல்லாம போச்சு.
Correct. CD is not there. It's still there, but nobody's buying it anymore.
Nobody's buying, and where's the market? இப்போ நமக்கு ஏதாச்சும் கன்சியூமர் லெவல்ல என்ன எதுவும் இல்லையா?
இல்லையா, கன்சியூமர் லெவல் வந்து இப்போ வந்து Spotify.
Music is free.
Yeah, music is free. Spotify is free unless you pay for it now. If you pay for it, you get the lossless audio. iTunes, you have to pay for it. So these are the mediums of listening.
Again, you are listening on online platform. Not
the actual
medium. Yeah. The actual sound we are not getting.
No, you're not.
Like our audio CD la.
Amma, kandipa irukadu. Because every streaming platform has their limit. Has a threshold limit. அதுக்கு மேல போச்சுனா it automatically compresses. So the actual sound
nobody's listening.
Only we are listening it.
CD, that was the actual sound.
That was the actual sound. Yeah.
CD and
because
5.1 DVDs were there. CDs were there. Audio
CDs were there. Yeah.
That is a pure sound what we listen in the studio.
Exactly. So yeah, so after this whole thing, 1 year, 1.5 years, I was jobless. I was doing odd jobs, meaning up recording freelance மாதிரி தான் இருந்தது.
Okay.
So I was recording mostly independent artists, some known artists, upcoming artists that was signed by the record company, but it wasn't steady.
Okay.
And then I took a decision. Then actually my parents are the ones like, maybe you should go to India and check out the scene.
Okay.
See whether your style. Go check it out and see whether you can do something there. So I blindly came here. Open up, Sora. I came here and then I said maybe at the most I'll spend 6 months here. But when I came here, of course, it took a long time to adapt. Totally new city.
New city, food,
climate, everything was totally different. People were different. The culture is a little different from what I grew up on.
Mindset is different.
That's main matter.
Quality conscious is different.
Everything is
quality
different.
Quality conscious, we have to search.
Yeah, exactly.
Where is quality and where is conscious? They doesn't sync together.
No, they don't. So it took about the first 6 months itself was just understanding this whole scenario in Chennai. And then but I was very keen on meeting only Yuvan, to be honest.
Oh, super.
Yeah. I did listen to his music back in US. So I really wanted to, actually work with him. And the mindset of that one.
Super.
Yeah. But
I tried, but I can't.
Okay.
I already was a big,
Okay.
already big circle. Now you are here.
All right.
All big circle is there.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's very difficult to get into some big.
Big
But
composer.
You get through it. How that happened? Like,
I got through it because it's a family friend who's a doctor.
okay.
His family doctor actually is the one that introduced me to him.
Okay.
We had one sitting, and that time Pudupette was going on.
Super.
Yeah.
Pudupette.
So we worked on Pudupette. He just let's come into the studio, and Kalasa. That time we were working in Kalasa Studios. Okay. So he's the one that fully occupied the studio for like 10 years or
Yeah.
lot of time. So 10 years or so he was working out of Kalasa. So Pudupette I got into the whole,
So Pudupette mixes was done by you?
No, I overlooked only one song, the Enga area.
Okay.
That one I started,
Okay.
but it's mostly mixed by him. He did the mix mostly for that. And then Parthiviran was also going on the side.
Okay.
So in those two movies, I was just observing that time mostly. Then my main mix was Patil.
Patil, wow. Patil. You did the mix,
Yeah, Patil.
Okay.
Patil I even his sounding also changed from that time. Pudupette changed a little bit, but Patil is where his sounding also took a major shape after that. And his arrangement, everything. And Patil I started my career with him.
Super.
Yeah. And then we just continued from there on.
Okay.
It just appreciate syncing. It's just the way I work with him. And he liked the sounding that I was bringing.
Super.
How I'm enhancing his songs to his, to what he's expecting.
Yeah.
So we created that signature sound for Yuvan, and he also, started giving his projects one by one, and then we just started working from there on. And then that's where I made then Vallavan came. Vallavan is where I really pushed up for that Lusupane track, the kick and snare. I had that Michael Jackson sounding in my head. I wanted really punchy, but at the same time not distort the speakers. So then we continue watching. Then on the sync form, that the main thing is between the composer and the engineer is that sync.
Yeah.
You have to understand the composer, and then work with that.
Yeah, the composer அந்த room கொடுத்தாதான் அது பண்ண முடியும்.
Exactly. So execute பண்ண முடியும். And then
you know how to arrange limited tracks தான்.
Exactly.
I heard, I never.
Yeah. It's very limited tracks. என்ன தேவையோ.
ரொம்ப clumsy, ரொம்ப.
Even if it's layered also.
Too many DTs.
That's the highlight to be honest, with Yuvan, Harris, and AR. They know what layers to add. Yeah. They have a very good sounding knowledge in it. That's for sure.
Nothing will mask. No. The instrument won't be masked.
Exactly. They'll have whatever it is, a pad or a string or whatever it is, but they choose the right tones.
Yeah.
So they have a good sounding knowledge. அதனால தான் அவங்களோட songs தனியா நிக்கும் எப்பவுமே. There's no clash between the instruments. And they're very conscious about that. This is what it needs, and that's it. That's
so coming to Goa one of the favorite mixes. One of the favorite mixes. One of the best sounding ever.
Right.
Moments.
Goa it is a fun album.
Yeah.
It's a
full synth,
kick punch.
Excellent album. Okay, அவ்வளோ நல்லா இருக்கு.
Correct. And thank you for Mirchi Music. I won the award for that.
Super.
For that album. It was a fun album. Seriously, we just had fun.
How did you get that kick now? Like அந்த kick processing
Goa took at least about almost a month.
Synth எல்லாம் ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்கும்.
ஆமாங்க. Yeah. I used a lot of delays and to create that space in the synth.
Okay. Synth on the round big fat
sounding.
Kick
that time we used a lot of saturators and கொஞ்சம் distortion use பண்ணிட்டு to get that thickness in the sound.
Yeah.
Same thing with the the kick and snare. He programmed it well.
Yeah.
See, the thing is
programming the tone
selection perfect-ஆ இருக்கணும்.
இல்ல ஒரு நல்ல ஆர்டிஸ்ட் வந்துச்சுனா கேமராமேன் வந்து ஆங்கிள் வெச்சா போதும் இல்லையா?
ஆமா, எக்ஸாக்ட்.
அந்த மாதிரி தான் இது.
அதே மாதிரி தான்.
நல்ல ஒரு
ஏன்னா அவர்கிட்ட இருந்து வரும்போது அட்லீஸ்ட் ஒரு 50% வேலை முடிஞ்சது நமக்கு because of his tone selections.
Yeah.
Even the kick and கொஞ்சம் tweak பண்ணாலே it's fine, it's done.
And you can understand the music இல்ல, எது மேல எது கீழ அந்த லேயரிங் வந்து நல்லா புரியும் இல்லீங்களா? நிறைய எது புரியாது, எது மேல இருக்கும்
எது கீழ இருக்கும்
கேட்டுக்க சொல்லலாம். இது இல்லங்க ஃப்ளூட் மேல சாக்ஸ் கீழ.
ஆமா.
பட் நம்ம பாக்கும்போது எது மேல கீழனே தெரியாது, எல்லாம் எல்லாமே சேம் டோன்ல யூனிசன்லயே இருக்கும் எல்லாமே.
கரெக்ட்ங்க, கரெக்ட்.
சோ இது மேல இருக்காது, இது வந்து கிளியரா ஒரு பிக்சர் தெரிஞ்சிரும்.
ஆமா.
எது எது எங்கெங்க இருக்கணும்.
கண்டிப்பா கண்டிப்பா.
எனக்கு சவுண்ட் ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். அதாவது இதுவரை இல்லாத
ஓகே ஓகே.
அது அக்கோஸ்டிக்
ட்ரம்ஸ் வந்து
ரொம்ப ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்கும்.
very nice. ஆமா that was
நல்ல ஃபேட் ஸ்னார் அது.
ஆமாங்க ஆமா. So அது வந்து we had live drums
கூட நல்லா இருக்கும்.
ஆமாங்க. Yeah, we had recorded very nice strings. All that is done in Kalasa da.
Super super.
Even the Kalasa hall had a good sounding for strings and even live instruments. It's a naturally good sounding room.
Yeah, one of the best
sounding
studio, best
studios in India, I would say.
Yeah, போச்சு அது. ஸ்டுடியோ
எல்லாம் போச்சு. But sad again.
MP3 நால எல்லாம் போச்சு. Find that MP3 guy.
It is one of the best sounding natural studios.
And excellent engineers there.
Ama. And good engineers, Tukaram, Mahesh, Guru. That time I think Salom was there as well. But yeah, these are the guys, in Kalasa that time. But I mean, people from Mumbai, they used to come down to record strings over here.
Okay.
To be honest, because of
some great recordists anga nalla knowledgeable.
And the sounding of that room. You record strings in that room, it just sounds good. Avladha. Konjam EQ பண்ணாலே போதுங்க. That's it. It just naturally it sounds good. And drums அங்க தான் எடுத்தோம். இதுவரையில வந்து we took the drums, we took the strings. So அப்ப வந்து நிறைய recordings. I'm talking about every day there'll be a recording. And he has taken that many projects.
Yeah. எல்லா ப்ராஜெக்ட்டும் ஹிட் ஆகுமே, எல்லா பாட்டுமே ஹிட் ஆகும். எஸ்பெஷலி ஈவென்ட் பண்ணாலே அது ஹிட் தான்.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how we managed. I don't know. அதான் தெரியல. அது இன்னைக்கு வரைக்கும் it's a gift.
Okay.
It's a blessing to handle.
So 15. You and Guru both are doing, like you and Guru meet?
Yeah, we do. Guru does all the recording. I'll do the mixing. Some projects he'll also do. After Mangata, he started doing some mixing as well.
That's what I want to say. Like after best song ever, Mangata.
That is mixed by Guru. To be honest, mixed by
விளையாடு Mangata வந்து.
Yeah. It's all Guru.
Okay, and the voice எல்லாம் வந்து நீங்க எதுவும் பண்ணல இல்லையா?
நான் எதுவும் பண்ணல. I worked on the background score தான்.
Okay.
For the அப்பதான் I was getting into film mixing. So I was doing the score mix for Mangata.
Okay.
So Guru did the the mixes for Mangata.
அவரை மீட் பண்ணோம்.
Yeah, next please go ahead. So Guru
because you guys like made like sound வந்து சவுத் சவுண்ட்ல அதுவும் நம்ம தமிழ் சினிமா ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் வந்து you are maintaining that.
Correct.
இல்லனா வந்து கீழ போயிட்டு இருக்கோம். அதெல்லாம் இப்ப போயிருக்கு இல்லையா? அது மாதிரி போகாம மேல இருக்கு.
ஆமா, we are very conscious in that.
அது இருக்கணும்.
Yeah, we always நமக்கு competition வந்து is mostly we should keep doing, our standard has to be that very quality conscious and நம்மளும் விட மாட்டோம், till it's sounding perfect, even though it's time pressure, mostly time pressure தான். இன்னைக்கு கொடுப்பாங்க காலையில, நைட்டுக்குள்ள வேணும் கேட்பாங்க. வரும். I said I'll give it to you, just be patient. It'll be done. But I'll give it to him after maybe a day, maybe instead of going today itself, tomorrow evening.
Today just live நான் லூப்ல கேட்டேன் நான்.
Okay.
ரொம்ப நாள் கழிச்சு இப்போ நல்ல ஒரு சவுண்ட், அந்த பேக் டு தட் ஈவன் சவுண்ட் அங்க கொஞ்சம் மிஸ் ஆயிடுச்சு, இப்போதான் வந்திருக்கு.
Right.
அந்த லவ் டுடேல அந்த ஈவன் பண்ண பாட்டு.
ஆமா சாச்சிட்டாலே சாச்சி அவர் எல்லாருமே சாச்சிட்டாரு. லிரிக் தான் சாச்சிட்டாலே, ஆக்சுவலா அவர் சாச்சிட்டாரே அந்த பாட்டு. Very nice. Yeah, that's a fun album to work on.
Super. சரியான
you in full form.
ஆமா நல்ல
he was in full form in that film. And then Nani Varian is another movie that I really liked working on.
Okay.
Because that combo of Selva and Yuvan is always magical. There's something magical about it.
ஆமா.
So that was another movie that I really enjoyed working on. And that too, we experimented on the a lot of experimentation happened in that film.
Okay.
When the time indadu, at the same time will
how many usually எவ்வளவு நேரம் ஆகும்? ஒரு ஈவென்ட் மிக்ஸ் பண்ணதுக்கு எவ்வளவு டைம் ஆகும்? வேற தேர்ட் பார்ட்டி மிக்ஸ் பண்ணும்போது, I mean other music directors மிக்ஸ் பண்ணும்போது எவ்வளவு டைம் எடுக்கும்? டைம் கொடுப்பாரா? டைம் இருக்குமா?
டைம் இருக்குங்க. There's always time, and then he's also a perfectionist.
Yeah, super.
And he he'll also give, he's like, you do it and then maybe at the most 1 or 2 corrections at the most.
He sits in the mix?
He sits in the mix in the end after I finish it.
Okay.
I'll send him a version for him to hear on his car danga, the final test. Car, and then now it's headphones and phone speakers, iPhone speakers or Samsung, whatever speaker, it sounds good.
So Raja sir என்ன படம் பண்ணீங்க?
நந்தலாலா. So எல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் பயம் இருக்கும்.
அவ்வளோ எக்ஸ்ட்ரீம் லெவல்.
ஆமா, the respectனால ஒரு பயம் ஃபார்ம் ஆயிரும் automatically. Of course, studio வந்து is very chilled out. Okay.